Hello students, in our last lecture we have started with the general introduction to chemistry, and in this lecture we are going to start with the next topic, that is the branches of chemistry. So here you can see that there are 9 branches of chemistry. That is physical chemistry, that deals with the study of the chemical system in terms of principle and concepts of physics. And next is the organic chemistry, that deals with the study of the compounds of carbon. And then third is the inorganic chemistry, that deals with the study of the main group elements. Clear? Or for organic chemistry you can also say that it deals with the study of the compounds of carbon and hydrogen and their reactions and their mechanisms. Clear? And then analytical chemistry, industrial chemistry, biochemistry, nuclear chemistry, agricultural chemistry and geochemistry. Clear? So in your plus 1 class you have to focus only on first 3 branches of chemistry. Clear? We have to learn about all these 3 branches in a detail in your plus 1 class. So let's start with our next topic, that is the importance of chemistry. Importance of chemistry. Chemistry has helped significantly in meeting human needs for food, healthcare products and other necessities of life. Clear? We can take so many examples of chemistry from our surrounding also, that how important chemistry is for humans or for our earth also. Clear? So let's start with the applications. The use of the preservatives has helped to keep the food materials for longer times. For example, for the preservation of pickles we are using the vinegar. Clear? And second, chemistry has also given us a variety of drugs such as antipyretics and analgesics. Antipyretics we are using to lower the body temperature in high fever, and analgesics we are using to relieve from the pain. And polymers, these are also plastics basically. For example, water bottle and other plastic things, all these are made from the chemicals. And waterproof and fireproof cloths made from the chemical substances. And agricultural industry, in agricultural industry, to destroy the pests, pesticides are used which are made from chemical substances. And there is large scale production of variety of fertilizers, for example urea, phosphate, both is chemical substances. In medical line also, the medicines like cisplatin and Taxol are effective in cancer therapy, and azithromycin used for helping AIDS victims. All these medicines made up of from the chemical substances, and these medicines have been isolated from plant and animal sources, or we can also synthesize them by a synthetic methods. Clear? And next, soaps and detergents are the sodium salts of higher fatty acids, as you have already learnt about these in your 10th class, are also made from the chemical substances. Clear? So all these are the applications of chemistry. With the help of these applications you can even understood the role of chemistry in our daily life, that it will become a indispensable part of humans life at present because of the modernization and technological advancements. Also we rely on the things that are directly related to the chemistry. Clear? So next topic, that is the nature of matter. Matter, anything which occupies space and have mass, is known as matter. For example, air, water, pen, chalk, etc. All these are the examples of matter. And our next topic, that is how we can classify the matter. So let's move to the next topic, that is the classification of matter. Matter can be classified physically or chemically. First is the physical classification and second is the chemical classification. So physical classification, depending upon the physical state, matter classified in 3 states, namely solid, liquid and gaseous states. As you have already learned in your 9th and 10th class about these 3 states of matter, that generally introduction to this concept you have learned in your 9th class. Clear? So let's start with the first state, that is the solid. Solid has a definite shape and volume, and its structure is hard and rigid, as you can see from here. Clear? Example, wood, table, etc. You can see in case of solid, the molecules are tightly holded with respect to each other and having very less intermolecular spaces. Intermolecular space means the space between the molecule is almost negligible in case of solids. Clear? And for liquid, liquid has a definite volume but not definite shape. It can take the shape of the container. We can measure water and milk as 1 liter, 2 liter, but its a shape we can't define because it will going to take the shape of the container. If we are going to take in different kinds of the utensils, then it will going to take the shape of the utensil. Clear? And in case of liquid, you can see that relatively more space as compared to the solids. Here you can see that molecules are loosely held together. Clear? In case of liquid, the intermolecular forces are not strong as much as you can see in case of the solids. Here the intermolecular forces are weakened and molecules are loosened. Clear? And having more space as compared to solids. And next, gas. A gas neither possesses definite volume nor a definite shape. Example, air and hydrogen. Clear? You can see from here also that gas can occupy the whole volume of the container because of its random movement in a container, and intermolecular distances are very large. The space between the molecules of the gas will going to very high. In case of a gaseous state of any matter, the intermolecular distance will become very large. Clear? And the molecule will become very lighter, so it can occupy the whole volume to move to a maximum distance from each other. Clear? Note that these 3 states of matter are interconvertible by changing the conditions of temperature and pressure. Clear? Here you have to mention that pressure. On heating the solid means on increasing the temperature, it will going to change to liquid, and again increasing the temperature by providing heat, it will going to change to gas. And on again increasing the pressure or by decreasing the temperature means on cooling, it will going to turn back to liquid, and from liquid again it will going to turn back to a solid by cooling it, by decreasing the temperature or by increasing the pressure. Clear? Generally it will be done by decreasing the temperature. Clear? Example we can take relating to the concept of that all the states of matter are interconvertible. We can understand that concept with the help of the example of the water also, that in a solid state water will going to become as ice. On heating it will turn again into a water in its liquid state, and then on again heating it will going to turn back to steam, and again on cooling it will going to turn back to water, and again on cooling it will going to turn back to ice. Clear? Note, all these 3 states have same chemical composition, only differ in arrangement of atoms or molecules. Clear? Means in case of ice, water and steam, the chemical composition will going to remain same, means all the molecules will going to be of water only. Clear? That all 3 states of matter will going to have water molecules. Clear? And only difference is in the arrangement of atoms or molecules, that in case of solid the molecules are held very strongly with respect to each other, and in case of liquid the interactions are weakened, and in case of stream the molecules are moving as far apart from each other as possible, as you can see from here also. Clear? So we can say that chemical composition remains same, that all 3 states will going to have water molecules but in different arrangement of atoms or molecules. Example, here also I have mentioned the same example. So till this topic once revise by yourself also. If still any doubt is there, then you can ask me anytime. Thank you.